I deserved it. I deserved it. An unacceptable showing the last time around. Obviously, I've had to make some tweaks to the algorithm that I have. I would like to ask you guys to still give me another chance. Put faith in me. At the end of the day, long term, I do believe I am best suited to spoil football matches. But I don't deserve to call myself the spoiler today. I'm here to predict the football matches. Ultimately, I don't think there's many others who watch as much as I do, who analyze as much as I do. I've given my life to the sport and I will continue to do so. So all I ask for is another chance. Heading into this weekend's matches, I've increased the amount of hours put into this, and I can't expose the complete details regarding what I tweaked in the algorithm, but there'll be signs as I go through these matches. Beginning at Goodison, I'm also using here another website which also gives me the wind, the weather, and how that's looking like, to make sure that we don't leave any stone left unturned. They do predicted lineups here as well. I use them as reference, even though, of course, I have my own. The big talking point for Arsenal was Buka coming back. He's not predicted to start here. I don't think he'll start either. They've lost Gabriel. Timber is a doubt. They have some questionable problems in the defense. Everton starting with I would say their best 11. They looked good against Liverpool. I don't see Arsenal winning this game. Under 2.5, I would say is guaranteed. I've gone Everton 1, Arsenal 1. Then I moved on to Real Madrid versus Valencia. A fascinating game, if you will, between two historic clubs. Same thing here. I calculated the precipitation, the percentage of the wind, and with Real Madrid, they played midweek, so something to factor, and their defense looked atrocious. Every single game, they're struggling. Do Valencia have enough to cause them damage? Both teams to score over 3.5, but I look at that front four, and in the form all of them are in, Vinny, Bellingham, Mbappe especially, Rodrigo is a little bit lagging behind. I just feel like Real Madrid will have too much for Valencia. I've gone Real Madrid 3, Valencia 1. Moving on to Italy, where another team fighting for the treble is in action, ahead, of course, of the Champions League quarterfinals. With this one, no Barella. He's suspended. Lautaro Martinez is a question mark. Inter will not concede a goal here. No BTTS. The only question I have is whether Inter will win 1-0 or Inter will win 2-0. I've gone for the latter. I just feel like at the moment we're playing at a very high level. That first half that we played against Udinese was exceptional. If we can do that, even for just one half again, we'll have more than enough to beat Parma. Then I moved on to Aston Villa versus Forest, which is, of course, a game containing two teams going for the Champions League. Forest, I feel, could be a little bit more relaxed now. Forest also missing a couple of players, and Aston Villa in really good form. As I mentioned in my recap video, Pau Torres coming back. I expect him to be in the starting lineup is huge for Aston Villa. I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I'm back in Aston Villa here. I think Aston Villa will win by 2-0. Marcus Rashford to score again. We know what happens when Rashford gets hot. He gets very, very hot. Of course, the PSG game coming up will play a role, maybe, in Unai Emery's thinking. But I feel like at this stage, the way the table is set up, they're going to go all in. They have to. Then I shifted to Milan. where the other lower and lesser team in Milan is in action against Fiorentina. Milan, of course, played midweek as well. 68% wind with 4 miles per hour, so conditions should be relatively good. Fiorentina, for me, head into this game the better team. The better team defensively, the better team offensively. I'm looking at Gudmundsson and Moise Kean. Gudmundsson to score. Perfect type of game for him. Fiorentina will win the midfield battle as most teams tend to do against Milan. It's not new. I'll be careful with both teams to scoring over. It looks good on paper, I get it, but Milan are just so inconsistent. I've gone with Milan 1, Fiorentina 2. But like I said, be careful with that. Fiorentina to win, for me, is a given. Then I shifted to Spain. Two of the most informed teams going head-to-head, Barcelona and Betis. The big talking point in this game is, of course, Isco suspended. He will not play, which is very good news for Barcelona. Barcelona undefeated in 2025. I've gone against them in the last couple of games. If you guys remember what happened in the first game between these two teams, I still believe that was Barcelona's, or if not the toughest game, one of their toughest games of the season. Betis deserve to beat them. Betis will score. Barcelona will score. Even though Barca have improved defensively, there's no way they're going to keep a clean sheet against this Betis team. I've gone for Barcelona 2, Real Betis 2. Anthony. That's for Saturday. Moving on to Sunday, we begin immediately with a London derby. Brentford-Chelsea. We've seen Chelsea in action yesterday. They impressed me. I thought Palmer looked very sharp. Caicedo and Enzo, we know the level they can play at. However, the attack leaves me with question marks. These are the expected lineups here. I'll be very surprised. I said be very surprised. They got Sancho and Madueke starting. Madueke came on, looked sharp. I think he'll start. Then it's always a toss-up who's going to start on the other side. Chelsea look better defensively, but I look at that Brentford team and I see goals in them. I think Chelsea are in trouble. I'm not buying into this with Chelsea. I don't think they'll be able to consistently put in good performances. For me, I think Brentford win this game. I don't see Chelsea scoring a single goal. I'll go with Brentford 2, Chelsea 0. It could be 1-0 Brentford. It'll be a relatively low scoring game, but Brentford will win. That I can assure you. Then Fulham, Liverpool. Now, remember, Liverpool know that Arsenal have dropped points. It's basically theirs. It's almost theirs. With Liverpool against Everton, they didn't look particularly strong. Curtis Jones is expected to line up as a right back again. I think Fulham will look at that Liverpool team. Everton caused them problems at Anfield. I think Fulham will do the same. I really, really do. I expect both teams to score. I've gone for Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. Gakpo is projected to start here. I think it'll be Jota again that may get the nod, considering he scored the decisive goal. And with Jota, he's not going to have 2 consecutive good performances. But the Colombian Aaron Lennon looks sharp. Will Salah go another game without a goal? I'll doubt it. And I think Liverpool will score from a set piece as well. I believe one of Konate or Van Dijk will score. It'll be 2-2. It'll be goals. Both teams to score. Draw. Moving on, I analysed the Manchester derby, of course. This one was the game that took the longest for me to analyse. I spent a total of 3 hours and 55 minutes on this game. It was one of those whereby I made a combined 11, as I tend to do, and I was very, very surprised. This is, of course, based on the teams that are projected to start, but I changed a little bit as well because I don't think this is how City will line up. I think Doku will start. I think Gundogan will start. He looked very good and has been looking very good next to Nico Gonzalez in recent matches. I think Grealish will start. He looked good against Leicester in that number 10. Either way, I was very surprised at how many Manchester United players got into my combined 11. Onana, Mazraoui, I went with. Dorgu on the left. Ruben Dias and Gvardiol. Yes, O'Reilly has been looking good, but I gave the nod to Dorgu. De Ligt very unlucky to miss out. but I had to go with the two City centre-backs. Ugarte and Nico Gonzalez as a double pivot. I had Savinho on the right, who I do expect him against Dorgu to be a very interesting matchup. We know Dorgu can go forward. Defensively, I have my reservations. Then I put De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes. Today, of course, Kevin De Bruyne announced that he will be leaving Manchester City at the end of the season. Kevin, the greatest Premier League midfielder of all time. Can he sign off with a bang in his final Manchester derby? And up front, for me, the difference maker in this game, Marmoush. Whichever way you slice it, it is Marmoush versus Højlund. It's a Manchester United team that has struggled for goals. I expect it to continue again. I've got Manchester United 0, Manchester City 2. I think it'll be Savinho and Doku that will start, and I think they'll cause a lot of problems to Manchester United's fullbacks. Yes, United have improved in their performances, but this, just like the Forest game, I don't think they'll play that bad, but I think City will have too much. 2-0 City. Then I shifted over to Italy, to Rome, to be more exact, where there's an 84% chance of rain. So that's something to keep in mind, something to factor. Wind at 9 miles an hour as well. It's a game between two teams fighting for the Champions League in Italy. Roma are coming off a 7-game win streak. Juventus, this will be their second game under Tudor. And you can already begin identifying the key matchups. Juventus will now match Roma in the formation. They now play 3 at the back. I'm looking at Kone versus Thuram. I'm looking at Sule versus Yildiz. Yildiz looked exceptional in that number 10 position that he played. Definitely looks more dangerous in a central position. And Dovbyk versus Vlahovic. Dovbyk got a crucial goal for Roma. Vlahovic still out of form, but he's playing under a manager who seems like he trusts him. With this one, chat, one of the easiest games I've had to analyze. I believe Roma Juventus will finish 1-1. The easiest draw I've ever seen. It's always been low scoring between these two teams in recent years. Tudor is a more attacking manager. Ranieri is more defensive. They'll cancel each other out. It'll be 1-1. Don't need to overthink it. And there is another game that I want to also spoil, which is the Bologna-Napoli game, which I analyzed. I didn't put an incredible amount of time into this. I put 1 hour and 25 minutes. But I believe Bologna head into this game, as you can see here, not having conceded a single goal in 3 matches. Both teams fighting for something. Bologna, at the moment, the most informed team in the league. Bologna 1, Napoli 0. Napoli are not that good. I promise you they're not. Like, they will not win this game. That I can guarantee you. If you want to play it more safe, you can go Bologna or draw. Okay? But Bologna will win this game. They have more about them defensively, and they definitely have more about them offensively. Keep an eye on Orsolini, NDA, Castro.